Okay, guys. Hi, this is Julie. Apologies for the um, snafu with the video yesterday. Recorded a great video with the price oscillators, and for some reason there was a problem with the tape, so I had to delete it. And we are recording again. So, with that said, this video is about the price oscillator and Jack's oscillator and the momentum oscillator and how they work together with price. Um, so let us move everything off the chart and open the price indicator first. So I've got the JATS PT daily on here with the intraday 1 hour IB and the 1 hour IB range with the JATS opening range indicator. And when price is inside the ones, the first standard deviation of the daily range, it's pretty much rotational. You're going to get very small ranges and they're going to stay, contracting, going back and forth to the means, whether that's a VWAP or the current day open or a volume profile point of control. When you leave the ones, the 1 hour IB, the Globex, the daily one, you're going to go to the twos and the threes, right? So that's just straight statistics. You expand out of your first standard deviation. That's when you get that range expansion. It's looking for the twos and threes. And you will see the corresponding range on the oscillators increasing and that range expansion occurring. So price trades to normal volatility levels, and so we can express that with the PT indicators in points and levels. So we can get an idea for the daily 1, 2, 3, 34%, 68%, 95% of that daily range, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or the RTH range, intraday, and the 1 hour IB and 5. We can get an idea of what those points are going to be for the session so that if you were inside your ranges, you know where the targets are to trade to. If you're outside the ranges, then you're going to be looking for where to go. You have that hedging situation. How far do you expand out? And, are you going for the moon or, how far those tails will reach? So this video is going to help you put the pieces together of how to trade the volatility going in or out of the range. So you need to start with a top-down analysis, maybe put the monthly or the weekly chart up, because this has a lot to do with, where you're going to be moving to. Are you expanding out to these higher time frame ranges? That'll give you an idea that the lower time frame is going to be in that range expansion mode. And or are you coming off of a support resistance level, coming back into retest like we did in the equity indexes, coming back in, pulling back from that range extension. So the pullback mode is very difficult, choppy intraday range that we had Friday, where it's almost in the transition. Are we pulling off the bottom, or is it going to be a trend continuation to the downside? We really don't know. We just have to trade within that volatility context. Here's the Globex range, and this is a nice intraday range to trade also. So between the Globex and the 1 hour IB and the daily, you have a great intraday time frame trade. And if we get the concept of trading with the momentum, you can get some nice divergence trades inside the daily ones. We're going to be trading a lot of divergence. So you can see here we have the retest of the upper daily one at a much lower momentum, and it rolled over. and came all the way down. And there were some weekly levels here also that it was hitting, and especially on NQ at this point here where it took off to the downside. Late afternoon thrust. So get used to trading scalping in and out of these ranges with your um, excursions. So momentum has the standard ranges that it trades to in or out of these levels. You can see a 1 inside the ones is pretty much that normal standard just sort of low vol environment. When you leave the ones, that's when you try to get an opportunity to go to your 2s, up or down. Well, sorry about that. It's not cooperating. But momentum is just like any other oscillator. It trades to these normal threshold levels: 1, 2, 3, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and you can move back to see, like in May 9th, we had some big excursions, so we hit those 2s and downside too down here. Got really, really low on May 2nd to the downside, and then upside to on May 10th. So you get used to where your momentum is on these time frames, as well as the JAX PT oscillator. This is points, and it's by time. So a 5-minute range, again, will expand to these levels over and over. And you can pick a volatility cone to trade. So you can say, I would like to trade between the 2s and the 5s, expanding, range expansion. And you can just limit your trading to that volatility condition, going from the 2 to the 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, with the range expansion up, or after you hit the 5 and come back in, a range contraction. You can do it both ways. You can also set algos up to hit these extremes, right? So if you do have an algo just laying out there for, outliers, as it hit these upper levels and then come back in, that ball crush can be set up with an algo, and you have the volatility level, and a lot of traders will do that too, and bring that deceleration all the way back in after a huge spike. So just being able to measure the volatility, knowing how far these ranges are going to go, point-wise, is a tremendous edge to have. Likewise, the volatility on a Bollinger, so we can measure the bands of a Bollinger going from the widest of the upper and lower bands point, and when we get to these wide points, that range expansion at some point will end and start contracting, and you need to know which side you are on. Are you on the contraction side, or are you on the expansion side? And there is a way to do this with the logic, and I'll give you this template that we can set up the Bollinger Slope so that we know whether we're going down or up. And we can set up algos to trade accordingly. So if we've gone past the threshold level, say above 20, so if you want to set a threshold with your Bollinger, and here and choose your price oscillator, change it to Bollinger. We're using a 10 period and a 1. Yep. And we're going to say anything above, say 20. Make sure, oops, it changed. Nope. Bollinger 10. Change these to 1. There we go, absolute value. Sorry about that. So here's your absolute value, 10, and then 20, I mean. So then if you want a 20 with a down move, you can set that up, a down ball, and then we can set this ball up to only show short moves. There we go. So there's your short with, there we go. You can set up your signal that easily and have that laying in the market so that whenever you get a situation where you're going above 20 and it starts rolling over, you'll get that signal. So it's very easy to set up, and here is your corresponding signal. Look at that. Yeah, it was a good one. So recognize that you can grab levels off of these indicators using Bloodhound very easily with the Jack's logic, and get used to trying to position yourself in the market like these professional traders do, looking at this volatility, trading volatility as much as you trade price, and just knowing where these levels are, even on these intraday time frames. So I've got BB-Mom expansion. So this is just showing where the Bollinger and the BB-Mom are expanding together. So it's very, kind of restrictive, only showing expansion. Obviously, long trades will rise and contraction as well. So I could, create another template to show both contraction and expansion at the same time for longs. And let's do that real quick. So let's just copy this. And what we're going to do is put another PT2 slope solver on that. Long short modifier. And we're going to do this with a different absolute. And we're only going to allow longs. So we're not going to allow shorts. Just longs. And now we'll get range expansion, or we'll allow longs with contraction. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility with the template. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here's range contraction going long. Okay. Well, we can play with the template later, but it's pretty fast to get, trade ideas using Bloodhound with BB Mom as it's rolling over, trying to grab, trades, knowing whether you're going, long expansion short or allowing short expansion long. Now, if I still didn't get this right, I'll play with it and fix it before I send it to you. But we can get those specific volatility levels like we were showing earlier, and or do up thrust and down thrust that's coming off as bottom level. So when momentum is going opposite of the BB Mom, and hopefully we're at an overbought or oversold level, we would want to consider this for the up thrust or the down thrust. You can see here how it finds these tops and tries to roll back over. But I'll show you how to set these up. And just having an idea of how far to trade on these excursions. So I've got the daily. We know whether the daily range has been met. Weekly, monthly, quarterly, RTH, 1 hour IB. Intraday, blowbacks. What is your 1 hour IB? What is your 30-minute opening range? What is your 15-minute opening range? How far do you expect to go on your 5-minute opening range? All the way down to 1 hour envelopes. What, how many points between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m.? How many points between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m.? So knowing what your range opportunity is, and then understanding your vol, your VIX, on a 1 day, 5 day, 7 day, that 9 day, 23 day mean, understanding where you are inside, the weekly, monthly, 1, 2, 3, the daily 1, 2, 3. Put a daily on here so you can see it. Weekly, daily is just such a powerful combination. And here you go. So you can see how it comes in play very, very nicely, weekly, daily. And whether you're, going towards, these standard levels to trade to, I like 30 minute on the ES so much because you can see that these um, are very, very standard ranges that the market tries to reach on these excursions. So we can also identify when it dips below the low point and then moves up. So you get your lower dip below too. You can create an algo to capture that. So we can go over that Wednesday. So we can say when it's below 2. Let's just do that real quick. Put sharp on this one. Find a template. And then do logic. Well, this one's already set up. It's at the opposite end. This is above 20. And then we want to go 5, 4, 5 minutes. And 30 minutes below 2. Then put a threshold solver on. Has a PT indicator in it. Change the level to 2. And then we want to go less than. Oh, we're getting 0. Less than 2. So here we're getting a signal. Less than 2. We can do 2.5 or 3. There we go. There we go. Less than 3, and then we want the slope up. So we're going to name this 30 minutes. So 3. And then we want an up slope. So we have a PT2 slope. Just put a long short modifier on it. We're going to change this to long. Put an end node on. There we go. There is your entry. Look at that. So there's your low long vol. So it's long vol from this point all the way up. And so if you can appreciate what I'm showing you, I'm showing you how to grab that entry on a 30-minute time frame and grow your vol from the low point to the upper, hopefully, get to the 10. That would be ideal. But, at least get to, 3, 5, get the ranges going up. But give yourself that chance to thrust off the bottom. And when you maximize this with the range on, you can see where these levels come into play on the chart. Sometimes they can give us really good positions, but you're increasing the volatility from that point forward. the range, well, let's say the range is expanding. So that's showing a period of range expansion. Um, Ideally, you would be able to, capture that with the direction and slope of your momentum or price. So here was a great example of kicking off that downtrend, kicking off that downtrend, kicking off that downtrend. Here it was trying to roll over and then it kicked off that downtrend. So it's like a flat range expansion going up. So here we're coming off of a bottom. It's going long on range expansion. So we're lifting off of the bottom, off of these daily ones. So I would not be surprised to see a gap up on Sunday going into the CPI gap up. Okay. But we still haven't reached our target for this range expansion. We haven't gotten to the 10 or higher potentially. So use the oscillators. Come by the website, get the DAX PT indicator for NinjaTrader 8. Let's see, where is the website? Here it is, the big J. And I need to refix this video. Come to the price oscillator, and you'll see it's for NinjaTrader 8. You can use it for Trade-of-8 Web, Ninja Web, or the Trade-of-8 Web. But we, really support the NinjaTrader 8 platform with this because you can get the market analyzers posted in the market analyzer, like I was showing you, to get your idea for your weekly, daily, monthly ranges. See where these support resistance levels come into play on higher time frames. If you like options, there's nothing like knowing where the spreads are likely to be sold premium, or throw a micro on here if you're in a futures opportunity at these levels, and know where the out of bounds tails are. We've got the ability to measure the distribution and carry it out of the range and equidistant, equal to the distance between the mean and the 3 going out. And again, the price oscillator allows you to do so much, capture these thresholds and determine whether you're going range expansion or contraction using an EMA or a Bollinger. It is all of that, the PT indicator and the price oscillator, 100 a month. If you do not have NinjaTrader Trade-of-8, you can get the Excel files. So we'll email those out to you today. Alright, so thank you very much. Also, if you do not have funding, cannot say got enough good things about Earn to Trade. Got a pretty good special going on this month. Just come over to the website. 70% discount on all subscriptions. Everything, and then also the resets are $45 this month. So don't miss this opportunity. Just click on the link. It'll take you there, and you can choose whether you want the Vault of Mini or the Trader Career Path, and join us as we get these algos funded and use these different strategies to trade algos using the opening range and the momentum with our oscillators, knowing how far to expect these excursions or reversals, coming back in, scalping intraday, and great price for this. So just stay within your end of day drawdown. Don't hit the daily loss limit. Follow the progression ladder. You can't, exceed the number of contracts they allow you for the amount of profits that you've gained so far. And the subscription is every 30 days until you pass. You need 15 trade days. Also, don't forget there's a maintain consistency rule. So they don't want you to exceed 30% of your total profit target for that um, challenge. So if you're in the 200,000 gauntlet, that profit target is 11,000. So they really don't want you to get more than 3,300. If you're in the 50,000, profit target is 3,000. They really don't want you to get over 900 per day. They want you to trade the 15 days so that you can show that the strategy is tested and has a good chance of, when you go into that next leg of getting a funded account, of being able to build that account with the strategy that you are trading. So I hope these indicators, volatility indicators, will give you a good path to get your algo or your idea tested. You know, I like using them too to just, um, flesh out and test strategies, and um, definitely Earn to Trade would be a company that you would want to consider using to get that funded trading account and get an algo bot put together. Maybe just put a bot out there only waiting for those outliers to come back in and change, something like that. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Our training is on Wednesday, and we will go through this template and the training through this Wednesday. All right, hope to see you there. Thanks.